Right, welcome to the session. I'll put the recording and I'll go through the content. Okay. So each to get hold of the content. So when it comes to digital marketing, you know who we are, what we do. We are pretty much into CPD programs, Qualify, a number of areas, right? So this is my profile. Right. So today we are going to understand the concept called social customer. Then social customer කියනකොට like people who are very much uh, focused on your business. People who are using social media a lot and whatever you have, they are searching through internet online while even watching TV, while going on the bus, while going in the Uber, while driving a car. Today, cars are coming with TV screens also, no? So you can search YouTube, all of that. So the amount of digital marketing, social media intervention is increasing. So we need to understand businesses which have fads and trends. Then fads and trends are two different things. Then if you search through your mother's or grandmother's wedding album, you will see these elephant bottoms being worn by your Muttala, all the old fellows, right? It came and went the trend. But if you look at Netflix, the entire trend, even today we are using YouTube, Netflix, right? So I want you all to identify what is the difference between fads and trends. Okay. So can you give around 10 fads, 10 trends? Okay. Right. So I saw your message, Sitmi. So you have identified the fads. Yeah, fidget spinner, bottle flip, low-rise jeans, skinny jeans, Pokemon, Pop It, newspaper, yo-yo, Bright. So lot of this content she has given. I'm sure those who are listening to recordings also share with me beyond what she has said. Yeah. So quickly, let me copy this and update in the WhatsApp group also saying that you have done a good job. Good job. Right. So apart from that, let's pull through this concept called social. We listen to our friends, families, and social connections a lot. We use search what other people say about the products. We are searching for connections on content on social network. So we look at Google review. We look at what our friends, if they had done a program somewhere, we would have asked them. Yeah. So friends and family, the social customer, even though they are closer, we tend to trust what the other people tell about a particular product. Yeah. So traditional model was, it was all about spending money on big investment on billboard, advertisement, and all that. But today, of course, it's a bit different. Today we have uh, eyeballs coming in, and peer reviews are there, competitive alternatives. We have user generated content. User generated content is content that is built by people, right? Who are into like who have looked at the product. Influencers scale again, but people who have purchased the products, right? Then you have competitive alternatives, recommendation from friends. So you have a lot of these different types of content. Either the person will become as a buyer or contributor. Then so sometimes you're not going to buy the car. You want to buy the car in the next 3 years. But you will get to know about DV, you will get to know about petrol car, how to do direct import, how to. So you'll end up as a contributor, right? So for the time being, so sometimes some products you would have researched well, and you would have had like different options. Right. So apply this particular theoretical model, right? Today, in take a industry activity two. I'm giving this activity because then only you will also be aware about the how to manage the content, right? Activity two, identify in a particular industry. Take a fashion vendor puluang, fragrance vendor puluang. You like a particular product, right? It could be chocolates, it could be any industry. Take it, identify a particular industry, and see how this model is being applied of social customer. So as a social customer, how do you apply it? I thought there was a right. Peer review fashion brand Sidney has taken, and she has given about how each of the user, all of that will come into play. It's a good one. Yeah. Uh, a good work presented by one of the participants. Yeah. So that's fine. You're understanding the concepts better. So mostly you can see supermarkets having the right consumer behavior. ඔගොල්ලෝ Kiehl's ඇතුලේ have you all gone inside Kiehl's and wondered where you wanted to buy only one or two things? Habai, they will end up promoting you unconsciously around for a bill around 5 to 6 products, right? ඔගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ නැති විදියට you will go and buy products which you didn't think of also. So it's all because of how the products are laid, how the products are physically operated. Then if you go into Kiehl's, Apico, you will see small trolley, but you will find them having large trolley, small trolley, extra large trolley. Yeah, it is because they want the customer to purchase so much. When you go inside, right hand side, you will always see fruits and vegetables because once you enter the place, they want to calm your mind. So, Metano, psychology has been used, right? So, when you look at marketing, digital marketing, 50% of the content is made out of this psychological angle. So, when you're building a website, when you're building a mobile app, when you're building any of these content, you need to be aware that there is this entire platform that is available for you. And you would have seen sale half price killer. Once promo counters are also there to push you products. Sometimes a discount at tapi products right? And food counters. So these are previous ones, but now you can see food counters, juice bar. So these are upsell for the products. And when you look at it, Kiehl's has changed the entire layout. This is how it used to look like in before, and now they are having a very environmental look, right? So you in social media, you need to create a lot of conversation. You need to spark a conversation. It's easy for a celebrity gossip to be talked about then. Pyumiyan Samali, then which me Aurudu Kumari which issues you can easily talk. You can talk about recently current prices where you know. Those are very easy to talk about. Vietnam Prime Minister came. The Sri Lankan Airlines CEO had died, former. So you have like it's easy to spark a conversation for politics, but for a brand now, Surf Excel gana hitala balan. How can people have a conversation around Surf Excel? And people have to talk through them. Digital marketing right? And it's very hard to make people talk. For that, Iraj is very good in Sri Lanka. Mainly he earns through digital products. Digital channels. He gets his content properly worked out. So I'll try to show you Surf Excel Dirt is Good campaign, right? Like Godak campaigns are there. Everyone technically says trying to see. More than the campaigns when they're sometimes
लगाएंगे तुम लोगों ने जल्दी आओ बच्चों बच्चों संभल के यहाँ रखे हुए क्या कर रहे भैया ये सफेद बच्चा गिर बच्चा देखो चोट ना लगे उठ ठीक है ना लगी तो नहीं तो चलो शाबाश शाबाश जाके खेलो जाओ बजाइए 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 कुछ नहीं हुआ
नीचे आ जाओ, मेहंदी वाली आ गई है। अभी क्या हुआ, ऐसे क्यों चल रहा है? ठीक है ना? मैं तो ठीक चल रहा हूँ। अच्छा, मम्मी को बोल फटाफट से नीचे आ जाए। हाँ जी। अभी क्या क्या हुआ?
माँ तो क्या है मेरे लिए ये कोई समझ ना पाएगा, तू जब होगी सामने प्यार झलक ही आएगा। तेरी गोदी में गर्म गर्म आंसू छलकाने हैं, गले लगा ले माँ।
पर मम्मा, मैं किसी के सामने रोया नहीं।
मुझे तुझको दर्द
मम्मा, मैं ठीक हूँ, मैं एकदम ठीक हूँ, आप मत रो।
मुझे तुझको दर्द दिखाने हैं, गले लगा ले माँ।
डेटॉल अपनों की सुरक्षा।
I think they have like I hope you understand. එතන කතා කරන්න මෙහෙම ඇඩ් එකක් තිබ්බා කියලා මිනිස්සුන්ට platform එකක් ඕනේ. I was searching for a Surf Excel ad maker. It came across, right? I just want to show. I'm trying to still find by showing to parents. So they're not the insight that, you know, the insight, we call it as insight, right? Insight is truth about a particular customer, right? Insight equals truth about customer. So a segment එක Dettol කියන segment එක towards small fellows and mothers and all, no. එතන we have to like they hold the tears and they will be genuine to their mothers only. එහෙම එකක් you will need to show, no? Like ඒක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ use කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Surf Excel best. So when you look at each of these ads, they have these things that they play with. Couldn't get this Surf Excel ad. තියෙනකොට මම share කරන්න. And you sometimes get funny ads also. 19 years ago this was created.
Camelin permanent markers. Really permanent.
Some of these advertisements, they are all like you need to use people as the channel, right? A number of these advertisements are there which will create some inquisitiveness. So Google has done a Google India Pakistan ad. calling India and Pakistan were the same, right? Same country, British make a kale. So there were certain people who have left it and gone. So how they are using the insights of the ads? So these become the award-winning content, guys. So let's listen to this.
ये मैं, ये यूसुफ लंगोटिया यार सी मेरा। लाहौर में हमारे घर के सामने एक बड़ा बाग था। उस बाग का गेट बाबा आदम के जमाने। रोज शाम को हमने वहाँ पतंगे उड़ानी और उसके बाद जाके यूसुफ की दुकान से झझरिया चुरा के खानी।
झझरिया? और मेरा साहब नमस्ते।
नमस्ते, मेरी पोती मुंबई वाली।
और बेटे क्या हाल है?
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूद फांदे, छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे।
हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
फाजिल स्वीट्स?
हाँ जी। दादाजान, दिल्ली से किसी की कॉल है।
हेलो,
यूसुफ अंकल?
कौन?
जी मैं सुमन बोल रही हूँ दिल्ली से, आपके बचपन के दोस्त बलदेव जी की पोती। याद है बचपन में आप दोनों झझरिया चुरा के खाते थे?
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूद फांदे, छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे। एक पतंग सा उड़ता था परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह। एक दौर था मन मन मोर था, एक दौर था मन मन मोर था।
पार्टीशन के वक्त हम रातों रात हिंदुस्तान आ गए।
दादू?
यूसुफ दी बड़ी आजादी।
कागजों की कश्तियों में डूबा रहता था, झांकती खिड़कियों में उलझा रहता था। वो भी क्या दौर था, मन पे न जोर था। एक दौर था मन मन मोर था, एक दौर था मन मन मोर था।
भैया थोड़ा जल्दी।
मन मोर।
हाँ जी, कौन? हैप्पी बर्थडे यारा। यूसुफ, यूसुफ वो यूसुफ, वो मेरे पल्लू, वो यूसुफ है यार।
I was told last month I'd be flying the India sector.
Every advertiser tries some way to spark a conversation. So I'll give you a general content, right? Activity 3. How can AI be spark a conversation in the society? So look at it from a digital marketing guy. What will you do to spark a conversation? You can create controversies, you can create positive testimonials, whatever you can think of. You can create events. So this is the creative side. Huh? Right. So there are some suggestions that are given. Okay, just to make you interact. Thought process se aap build karana, right? So hashtags are getting used in social media, and hashtags allows you to find certain things, right? Same way, you can identify different terminologies, right? These are all promoted with a particular brand. In my own skin is a Dove promotion, but in day to day also people are using this. Make your move, BMW stories, yeah. So a lot of social is more than likes or hashtags or retweet. It is more than just platform technology and community management. Social media is about people having a conversation online. Etna brands walata atadama, like it is a tough space. We can do CSR. It will go a lot and people will speak a lot about it. Brand they have to put a lot of effort, right? And people forget also what you do today, they will forget in another few days. Maliban promotion, Aurudu Fiela search karana. I'm sure you would have seen Neglo Godak Pushkara me content. It's more than the commercial free train tickets. This is the one.
Manchi sponsors free train travel for Aurudu passengers. Thank you.
Munchie.
Normally Manchi and Maliban they keep doing it. Me para Maliban galadibba. So Manchi did it in the previous time. So they have done this entire content. This is Manchi's one. So Maliban didn't cover it. But Facebook, Insta, all of that, they are covering this content. Some of the content also goes off track.
මොන කලුද? ඒ චොක්ලට් පාටනේ. කන්නේ චොක්ලට්නේ.
ටිකක් කලුයිනේ.
මොන කලුද? ඒ චොක්ලට් පාටනේ. කන්නේ චොක්ලට්නේ.
මටත් වඩා කළුද මන්දා.
බොන්න කලුද? ඒ චොක්ලට් පාටනේ. චොක්ලට්ම කාලානේ. මේ නංගි.
නංගි නම් සුදුයිනේ.
එයා කන්නේ වයිට් චොක්ලට් පෆ්නේ.
බැරිද
මගුලක් කතා කරනවා.
වයිට් චොක්ලට් රසයෙන් පිරුණු මෙලිබන් වයිට් චොක්ලට් පෆ් සුදට ලොල්ලයිට.
That's a situation when an ad went wrong. Hari. So ads can become wrong also. What is social media marketing? It's the marketing effort securing a place for your brand. What other people are telling about your brand and whether it's likable, right? Hariyatama kare in this entire story, the Tata's brand story, right? They are a historical company. They did a lot of content which makes them being loved because they go trust family business. It grew so much. Even today in Sri Lanka also we use Tata Kano. That family has a profit transparent penala. They have given certain amount of money every year from the profit that goes to community as a CSR. So just take a listen to their history so you can understand the likability but since Tata is totally an Indian brand, they go to target an Indian segment. But listen, will you?
आज से 150 साल पहले एक छोटे से कॉटन ट्रेडर आज से 150 साल पहले एक छोटे से
Hi everybody, today's episode is a very special episode because today we are going to talk about one of the greatest businessmen who ever lived in India. This is also the story of a man who laid the foundations of one of the greatest companies on the planet, which we all know today as the Tata Group of Companies. This tycoon that I'm talking about is none other than the pioneering industrialist Mr. Jamshedji Tata. And while most of us know about the philanthropic contributions of the Tatas, hardly any of us know about their business strategies that turned the Tata Group of Companies into such a successful conglomerate. Which is why in this episode today, we're going to talk about 3 important pointers. What exactly was Jamshedji Tata's business strategy? How did he build the foundations of the Tata Group even during the British Raj? And most importantly, what are the business lessons that we need to learn from this legendary businessman? This is a story that dates back to 1858 India, when the British Raj had just established itself in India by ending the control of the East India Company. During this time, the world was witnessing a textile revolution, and the cotton industry was one of the most prosperous industries of all time. At the time, America was one of the largest suppliers of cotton, and because of the use of slaves, the Americans were able to produce the cheapest cotton in the world. But just 3 years down the line, in 1861, the American Civil War broke out, and suddenly the export of American cotton stopped. And because of this, the Britishers began to look towards India for raw material. Why? Because India had both fertile lands to produce cotton and naturally strategic seaports to ship it to the world. Therefore, Britain started buying India's crop under the monopoly of its administration. And because of this scenario, the demand for cotton in India shot up to such an extent that in 1860, India was supplying just 31% of British cotton imports. But by 1862, this number shot up to 90%. And this marked the beginning of the cotton revolution in India. Now, although the demand declined after the end of Civil War, India's cotton growers were still supplying 67% of Britain cotton imports in the later years of the war. And during this time, Jamshedji Tata's father, Nusarwangi Tata, was a trader, and Jamshedji Tata was just a helping hand for his father in his business. This is when he saw the sequence of events happening in the cotton industry. And in 1869, he did his pilot type project wherein he bought a bankrupt oil mill in Chinchpokli, converted that into a cotton mill and sold the mill for a profit in just 2 years. This is where he learned the basics of the cotton industry. But before he embarked on his primary business journey, he decided to do a thorough market research about the cotton industry. So you know what? He took a trip to England to study the advancements in the market. Because during that time, he realized that the West was at least 100 years ahead of the East, both in terms of technology and civilization. So he planned his travel in such a way that he visited the most important business destinations in the world, and this included Egypt, Syria, Palestine, Turkey and Russia. And at each place, he studied the business ecosystem and noted everything in his diary. This is when he realized that India literally had all the golden elements to build a cotton empire. We had coal mine for the supply of energy, we had enough population to get labor for work, we had fertile lands to grow cotton, and most importantly, we had the most strategic ports connecting the most important destinations all across the world. Why? Because in 1869, something magical just happened, and that was the opening of the Suez Canal. Now listen to this very carefully. Before the Suez Canal was built, if you wanted to go from Europe to Asia, you had to take a long route by leaving from Mumbai, halt at Cape Town, and then park in London. But the French and the Egyptians collaborated together and decided to build a canal over here by cutting through the land, connecting the Mediterranean Sea directly to the Red Sea. And this move, ladies and gentlemen, was so revolutionary that it reduced the traveling distance from Bombay to London by 7,000 kilometers and reduced the travel time by 23 days in each trip. And this is what made Indian ports extremely valuable to the traders. But in spite of having all these advantages, the only thing that was missing in India was an organized enterprise to process cotton. Because at that time, Bombay definitely had 15 mills, but the problem was that as compared to the West, all these Indian mills used primitive machinery, had ill-adapted buildings, unskilled and untrained labor, and overall, the infrastructure was so backward that the factories didn't even have protection against fire hazards. And this is when, after 6 long years of rigorous study, Jamshedji Tata decided to solve this fundamental problem in the market by setting up a high quality cotton mill that will sell world class cotton to the world. During that time, Bombay was the first choice to start a cotton mill because of its proximity to the port. But Jamshedji Tata had a different plan altogether, and he chose a remote town 800 kilometers away from Bombay, which is known as Nagpur. Now, as soon as everyone in the market came to know about this idea, they laughed at Jamshedji, saying that it was a stupid decision. In fact, he was even refused loans because the financiers saw no potential in a mill being built in Nagpur as opposed to Bombay. But little did they know that Jamshedji Tata knew something that the rest of the traders did not know, and that was the potential of the railways. Because during that time, while railways was relatively new to India, in Britain it had already become the backbone of trade and commerce. And thanks to the wanderlust of Jamshedji Tata, he had seen the power of railways in action. On top of that, after an extensive survey, he also found out that Nagpur was located in a cotton producing district, so raw material was very close by. In addition to that, it was also within the reach of the coal supply from Varora mines, and it was also the center of a large handloom industry. And that is when, ladies and gentlemen, in 1877, the Central India Spinning, Weaving and Manufacturing Company, Empress Mills, was founded by Jamshedji Tata. And he invested heavily to get the best machinery in the world. However, even shipping machinery was a Herculean task back then because it took them 4 months to get the machinery from Europe to India. And unlike today, they did not have trailer trucks, and the most common mode of transport were just bullock carts. But even then, with a lot of efforts, finally the machinery arrived and the mill started functioning. And just when Jamshedji thought that he could conquer the cotton industry with this strategic location, he faced another critical challenge, and that was the workers' management. And as it turns out, the people of Nagpur were so far away from the industrial culture of Bombay that most workers did not even consider it important to come to the factory every day. And they used to take leaves even for the smallest reasons. During the initial times, things were so bad that the mill was always working with only 80% attendance. Over here, most industrialists would tackle this problem very aggressively and would either engage in hire and fire strategy, or they would penalize the workers for less attendance. Because the point to be noted over here is that we are talking about a time when even after the 13th Amendment, slavery was still unofficially prominent in America. This was the same time when, in spite of being in our own motherland, the Britishers started their atrocities and put up boards which said, "Dogs and Indians not allowed outside the British premises." But this is how, ladies and gentlemen, Jamshedji Tata decided to deal with this problem. Instead of punishing or scolding the workers, he introduced a provident fund scheme which ensured that every worker would lead a comfortable life after retirement. This was combined with the introduction of medical insurance to help cover the medical costs of workers in case if they got injured at work. On top of that, he also introduced family days, sports days and various ceremonies wherein 1,000 odd families were rewarded gold chains, wrist watches, cash rewards, etc. And all of this was done to develop a bond between the company and the workers such that the attendance could be incentivized. And not so surprisingly, attendance was never a problem after that. And this eventually improved both the profitability and the efficiency of the Empress Mill. Such was the greatness and generosity of Jamshedji Tata during a time when humans were a little less human. Now the question is, with all this competition in the cotton industry coming from all around the world, starting from US to Europe, what exactly was special about Jamshedji Tata that he was able to stay ahead of his competition? And this is what, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the last segment of this episode, and that is the research and innovation at the Tatas. Jamshedji Tata was so keen on advancements that he heavily invested into research and innovation and spent months traveling to Europe just to study the market. And in one such trip in 1883, his technical expert James Brooksby saw ring frames being used in the United States, and he immediately sent them back to the mill in Nagpur for trial. Now these frames were still untried by the inventors themselves, but Jamshedji Tata was so shrewd that he backed the experiment with ring spindles and got his team to work upon the invention. And the fun fact is, even before the inventors in the US or the Britishers tried it on a large scale, Jamshedji Tata insisted that the entire mill must have this technology equipped, and the results were extraordinary. While in normal days they were able to achieve 6,000 revolutions, using this idea they were able to achieve 9,000 to 12,000 revolutions in no time. As a result, the dividends of the company went up to 16% and the company's profits started shooting up. This is how, by extensive study combined with consistent innovation, turned the Empress Mill into one of the most profitable companies in the country, paying the shareholders close to 18 lakh rupees in the next 30 years, which is equivalent to more than 100 crores even by rough estimates in today's world. And this is what laid the foundations of the iconic Tata Group and turned Jamshedji Tata into one of the richest men in the world. But even then, Jamshedji Tata did not stop. Even during his last days, he worked very hard to set up a steel plant in India so that India could become a beneficiary of the steel revolution of the world. Apart from that, he also built the Swadeshi mill as a capitalistic contribution to the independence struggle even before the actual Swadeshi movement started. And the most astonishing thing about this wonderful person is that he donated so much of his wealth that when adjusted for inflation, the value of his donation is $102 billion, which is even beyond Bill Gates' contribution. And this makes him the most philanthropic person in the 20th century. These are some of the many reasons why Jamshedji Tata is known as one of the greatest businessmen who ever lived in India. And this is what brings me to the most important part of the episode, and that are the lessons from the case study and the study material to help you understand the game-changing business strategies of the Tatas. Before we move on, I want to thank our partners for today's episode, and that is Smallcase. Smallcase is this wonderful company that leverages cutting-edge market research to design a basket of stocks to help you make the best investments possible. In this case, if you love the Tatas, you can actually invest into the Tata companies by opting in for the House of Tata Smallcase. And this Smallcase consists of hand-picked stocks from the Tata conglomerate. The best part about using Smallcase is that the Smallcase manager reviews and rebalances the Smallcase regularly to give you buy and sell prompts so that you can extract the best out of your returns. And my favorite feature of this app is that even if you don't want to make any investments, you can actually keep track of the latest updates using their blog post and using their news section. And both these contents are curated specifically for every sector. And if you only do a deep dive into each one of these stories, you will get some wonderful market insights that very few people will bother to understand. So if you want to make strategic investments into the stock market, download the Smallcase app from the link in the description. Moving on to the lessons from the case study, there are 3 important lessons that we need to learn from Jamshedji Tata. Number 1, and I've said this countless times, market research is by far the most important task while starting a business. In this case, Jamshedji Tata spent 6 years to extensively study the market that helped him build the foundations of the Tata Group. Number 2, every century has some or the other industry that brings in a wave of opportunity for the entrepreneurs. And if you keep track of the most important events in world history, you will be able to tap into these opportunities. Eventually, it will help you build a formidable business. In this case, it was Jamshedji Tata's understanding of the potential of railways and the construction of the iconic Suez Canal, which helped him understand the potential of the cotton industry. And lastly, always remember, empathy and compassion are 2 of those attributes that can turn a commoner into a king. In this case, they gave rise to one of the greatest businessmen and by far the greatest philanthropist India has ever seen, who went by the name Jamshedji Nusirwangi Tata. That's all from my side for today, guys. Now you can have a look at the study material, and if you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button in order to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and political case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
This channel is a good one, na? එතන ඒගොල්ලෝගේ case studies ගොඩක් හොඳ ඒවා තියෙනවා. So not a major problem. I think one of the students having right. So let me try going through this content. So it's a likability. So මේක පොඩි කාලයට කලින් වුණා නේසමනේ කියලා මේ there's a Vadivel comedy actor in the Tamil one. when Prime Minister Modi was was becoming the Prime Minister, the people who hated that idea, opposition party, एक trend करा that this guy is getting sick here. Yeah? So they always there is digital marketing getting involved in politics also. Yeah. Same way there is every time Oreo. That's how they spent their 100 years celebration. So Sri Lanka, of course, Oreo was never a brand, but they did 100 years.
There's so much frosty cream in between.
Aren't Oreo kids lucky? Aren't Oreo mothers great?
It's been an important part of childhood for generations. The venerable Oreo cookie, a product with such cultural longevity that to this day people still talk about their favorite way to eat it.
Tilt your head at a 45-degree angle to make sure you lick all the cream off.
I take the cream and I lick it down the middle. And notice that there's now a streak that runs through it.
The Oreo is one of the world's most popular brands, with $1.5 billion in global annual revenue. It's now sold in over 100 countries, and it all began here in New York City at what is now the Chelsea Market. 100 years ago on this very spot, the first Oreo cookie was made. This, of course, was the original Nabisco Bakery, the parent company responsible for those classic chocolate wafers joined together by a vanilla cream filling.
When Oreos began being sold 100 years ago, they were sold in tins like this in bulk, and the very first Oreo cookie sales were recorded in Hoboken, New Jersey on March 6, 1912.
It's not just Oreos that have stood the test of time. Cornflakes have been around since 1896. Campbell's soup was founded in 1877. And Jell-O? This one's over 110 years old. Marketing experts say it takes skill for a brand to last through good times and bad.
They've been able to balance consistency and change. It's original, it's authentic, but they've kept it fresh. They've kept pace with the changing times.
Indeed, social media is now an important part of Nabisco's marketing mix. Oreo has its own Facebook page with more than 25 million followers.
You made a mess. I did make a mess. I did.
Kraft, the owner of the Oreo brand, works hard to keep the product fresh at its research kitchens in New Jersey.
What you'll see here is a variety of different flavors. Ideas, some of them we've heard from our consumers over the years.
Rainbow sherbet.
Rainbow sherbet, you have toasted coconut, lemon, orange tangerine.
Kraft also takes care to cater to each new global market.
It's a smaller pack size to fit the size of the smaller stores in China.
But across the world, one thing stays the same: the classic way to eat an Oreo.
Twist open the cookie.
Twist open the cookie.
You might want to lick out a little bit of the cream. And then if you're a milk fan,
okay,
you can dunk it right in the milk.
Who knew I'd be making an Oreo cookie?
Thumbs up.
This is better than straight out of the package, for sure. No matter how you make it or how you eat it, one thing is clear. To last 100 years, you must be one smart cookie.
A good cookie.
Felicia Taylor, CNN, New York.
Australia, there is a place called Queensland. ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රොමෝෂන් එකක් කරලා තිබ්බා 1 year holiday කියලා. So that's the tourism package that they did. And a lot of people, even from Vatican, apply කරා කියලා. There is a everybody has a YouTube channel now, even these people, no? So they had done a promotion saying 1 year you can stay free in Queensland. Only thing you have to do is feed the fish, Kela. Yeah. It was so much of a hit. It was so much of a hit. ඒ වගේ hit campaigns ගොඩක් තියෙනවා, campaigns where people really get results. Same way, Malaysia, truly Asia. Aparade Lanka, but I think we lost the plot. You have a lot of these different content that is there. So you can see how people have promoted different types of content. Truly Asia Kelama, you can see all the way from 1990 to 2026. Same promotion they are running. Yeah. So people can keyword set karagata. In when no, we went with a lot of changes. We went with sun, sea, sand, change kara. Again, we had a lot of setbacks. Hari. So what I can do in this entire thought process is discuss about how things have changed in each of the campaigns. Oreo. So what does it mean to be social? To have people as the medium of your message. That's the key requirement in this class. Okay. And today customers control your brand. Ekolo negative දෙයක් කතා කරනවා නම් ඒක කරකවන්නත් ඕනේ. හැබැයි you can't do it like those days. හංගල බෑ. You have to be very open and transparent and talk about it. Conversations about you happen online, whether you like it or not. අපි as we are not in social media කියලා, we can't hide from issues. We have to be conversed. And today customer rules the conversation and moment of truth. A moment of truth is where customer interacts with your brand. Moment of truth. Customer interaction with your brand. Example, visiting your showroom. All right. Receipt after purchase. After sales service. A moment of truth. Even going online and searching for your brand, we call it as zero moment of truth. Online, what people say about your brand, we call it as a zero moment of truth. So today, man on the street who doesn't have qualification is trusted more than people who are very much qualified. If you go towards Reddit, if you go towards different platforms, you can see, right? So that's about today's session, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Short and sweet, I've covered the content, right? So let us know, keep us posted on what you see. Put your homework here then, and just to be in touch with the syllabus content. Homework. What is the unique marketing that you saw where people were the medium? I think you would have seen about the metro bus. People were very happy with the metro bus. Lanka Metro. Yeah. People were very happy with that. You would have seen something where that product shared in the group also. Metro bus Sri Lanka. They have brought an app so the people are talking positively and negatively, no? 30 minutes a bus is coming. You can see on the phone also where the bus is going and comfortable with AC also. I hope this grows. They have done properly this one. So we'll call it a day. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks a lot, Sitmi, for being participative. Those who are in the class also can share. We'll encourage you all to share your contents. Okay, I'll end the session there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.